Let's start the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Well, I would like to call to order the March 8th, 2022 meeting of the Common Council. If you'll all rise and join me in the pledge of allegiance to our nation's flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Clerk, if you'll please call the roll.
Mr. Burnett. Mr. Goldstein.
Present.
Ms. Johnson.
Present.
Ms. Najilski-Eichner.
Present.
Ms. Smith.
Here.
Ms. Ayers. Mr. Uvelman.
Present.
Ms. Revoluz.
Here.
Ms. Young.
Here.
Mr. Kites.
Here.
Ms. McMurr.
Present.
Ms. Alterman.
Here.
Mr. Keegan.
Here.
Mr. Livingston.
Here.
Ms. Shanahan.
Here.
Mr. Burnett. Ms. Ayers. 13, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, acceptance of the minutes of the regular meeting of February 22nd, 2022. Ms. Shanahan moves. Do we have any corrections, deletions, omissions? Ms. Smith.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just one misspelling on page 12. Page 12, second paragraph. Ms. Smith, thank you, Mr. Kites. Twice in that paragraph, Mr. Stowers' name is spelled incorrectly. There should be S-T-O-W-E-R-S.
Okay. Very good. Any other corrections, deletions, omissions? Ms. Dixon, Ms. Ayers has joined us.
Sorry, I was having technical difficulties, Mr. Mayor. I apologize.
That's all right. No, not a worry. We just want to note that you're here.
Thank you. Duly noted.
And so all in favor of the minutes as corrected? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have public participation. Mr. Manzi, do we have anybody wishing to address the council?
We do not, Mayor Villan.
Okay. And do we have any correspondence from the city clerk's office?
Yes, we have correction for the February 8th minutes that Ms. Loricella would like to enter into the records. So I'll file that with the records.
All right, thank you. Any other comments or correspondence that the council members wish to bring into the record? Seeing none, we will close public participation. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is resignations and appointments. We have one appointment, Ms. Katherine Knight to the Conservation Commission. Do I have a motion? Ms. Shanahan.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I met Katherine when we were trying to save a tree in Rowayton, and that is the way I learned that that surprises no one, right? That either one of us was working on that. Katherine is passionate about about protecting the environment in Norwalk's beautiful landscape. As I said, of course, we were battling to save this tree, and that's when I really knew that her passion goes deep. When speaking to Katherine about this appointment, she said that she'd be happy to be considered for this role because she views that Norwalk's rivers, its trees, its coastline is the essential and the original infrastructure, and she really would be delighted to have a role in preserving it. So I think she's ideally set for sitting in our Conservation Commission. We'd like to move her nomination forward.
Thank you, Ms. Shanahan. Any further comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? I notice Miss Knight is here. Thank you for your willingness to serve, and give her a round of applause.
Thank you very much for taking this on, Catherine.
And for what I understand, you usually attend the meetings anyway, do you not?
She attended the meeting tonight.
I
Okay.
So
attended the meeting
not only
tonight,
did she
yes.
attend that meeting, yeah.
All right.
I've been seen at some tree hearings, though.
Okay, moving right along, just under mayor's remarks, very few remarks tonight. We are in the middle of budget season, as you all know, and tonight, just before this meeting, we had another round of interviews with the department heads going over their budgets, looking for their requests. And I've asked every department head to revisit their budget and to try to remove or to reduce it by 0.5%, which would be a total of over $420,000 over the overall budget. But I think that's a savings that very easily can be found within the budget that's been submitted. Next, we expect that very, very soon we'll be releasing the efficiency study, and the timing is perfect because the budget is being put together now. We can take a look at that and see if there's anything that we can do within those guidelines that will help reduce the budget even further. But we're looking at about maybe March 22nd to release to the council and the Board of Education so that you can have a copy of the budget. And there'll be a presentation by Evergreen, who did the study, to give you an idea of the process and how in depth they looked and so forth. So that'll be coming up, I believe, on March 22nd. Next, we have coming up, we have Ms. Young with us. She's going to be running the Summer Youth Employment Program again. Ms. Young, I believe today was the day registration started. Could you give me some information on that?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Actually, it was Monday. So from March 7th to the 28th, the applications will be on the city's website on the job page. And the program is for young people, Norwalk young people ages 14 to 18.
And the program has been in place for how long?
Since 1998.
And during that time, how many young people maybe have gone through?
We're close to 1,600 unique young people. So that means over the years, that's how many young people for the first time. Some come back every year, which is a good thing, but we have over 1,600 unique young people in the city of Norwalk.
And I will say that the program has grown and developed to an amazing program that gives young people not only an opportunity to earn over the summer, but it gives them the opportunity to learn how to work in the how to conduct themselves in the workplace, how to interview, how to dress properly, what teamwork is all about. So it's really a good program. And I know that each year we unfortunately have to turn away a lot of young people, and it's sad that we have to do that.
And so, Mayor, to that point, since you brought it up, and I thank you for that, so we average about over 300 young people who apply. Not everyone will get a job. It's a competitive process. But each young person goes through a one-on-one interview. And I'm happy to say that the interviews are conducted by members of the community. And I would like to say that I'm going to acknowledge Councilwoman Ayers, who way back when was one of my volunteer interviewers a very, very long time ago. And so we have a good 16 or so residents from the community that volunteer their time every year to do this. And I'm happy to say that we are now at the point where we have young people who have been in the program, have graduated from the program, and are young adults who come back now and volunteer their time to do it. So we're also providing that opportunity for young people to give back at a young age. So
a lot of success stories coming out of that program. Some have opened their own businesses. Some have been called back to permanent full-time employment. So yeah, great. It's at 7:43. Ms. Dixon, if you'll note that Mr. Burnett has joined us. I have no other comments. Over to you, Council President.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Ms. Young, for taking on that very important program. It's been great to see. Just a follow-up on something you said, Mr. Mayor. Our hope and expectation is that Evergreen will be presenting the efficiency study to the council at our meeting on the 22nd, as you suggested.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit before. We want to do maybe start at 6:30 that night.
Well, we actually talked about that. I think we're going to keep with the regular start time simply because we have a number of people who have other obligations prior to that meeting. But
Okay, I'll mention that to Miss, well, Betty, I can't remember her last name, but I'll mention that to her.
Okay, thank you. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Hubelman, who will be reading the consent calendar tonight.
Thank you, President Livingston. Consent calendar. Number 7, Common Council Committees. 7A, Public Safety and General Government Committee. This next item is on consent to table. 7A1. Authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute any and all agreements and all documents necessary to apply for, accept, and/or receive federal or state grant funds for any grant program which will be utilized by the Norwalk Police Department for public health and safety purposes annually until hereinafter revoked by the Common Council, provided that 1, the grant program does not require a municipal funding match. 2, the grant program is for funds equal to or less than $100,000. 3, prior to acceptance of the grant funds, A, the Norwalk Police Department posts a general description of the grant program on the City of Norwalk's official website, and B, the chief or deputy chief of the Norwalk Police Department notifies the then current chair of the Public Safety and General Governance Committee of the intent to accept the grant funds. Again, this item is on consent to table. 7B, Public Works Committee. 7B1, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to enter into maintenance agreement number 11.23-01, parenthesis 21, with the Connecticut Department of Transportation to maintain granite curbing, crosswalks, plantings, and other non-state standard appurtenances requested by the city and installed within the state right-of-way as part of the encroachment permit number 3019477 issued to Norwalk Land Development LLC. 7B2, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute an amendment on the March 29th, 2021 agreement between the City of Norwalk and AI Engineering for project number DPW 2021-1 on-call engineering services. The amendment is to extend the agreement for a period of 1 year at a sum not to exceed $100,000 billable on an hourly basis with an option to extend for 1 additional term of 1 year. Count numbers noted. 7B3, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute an amendment to the March 29th, 2021 agreement between the City of Norwalk and Weston and Sampson Engineers, Inc. for project number DPW 2021-1 on-call engineering services. The amendment is to extend the agreement for a period of 1 year at a sum not to exceed $100,000 billable on an hourly basis with an option to extend for 1 additional term of 1 year. Account numbers noted. 7B4, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute an amendment on the March 29th, 2021 agreement between the City of Norwalk and Teague & Bond Incorporated for project number DPW 2021-1 on-call engineering services. The amendment is to extend the agreement for a period of 1 year at a sum not to exceed $100,000 billable on an hourly basis with an option to extend for 1 additional term for 1 year. Account numbers noted. 7B5, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute the First Amendment to the agreement between the City of Norwalk and Freeman Companies dated February 27th, 2019 to provide professional engineering services for the emergency reconstruction of the Rowayton Avenue Bridge in accordance with scope of services extra work order number 4, bridge preservation and rehabilitation of city-owned bridges, reconstruction of bridge number 102-009 Rowayton Avenue over Keeler's Brook, dated December 1st, 2021, copy included, for a sum not to exceed $150,000, account noted. 7C, Land Use and Building Management Committee. 7C1, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute an amendment to the license agreement with Norwalk Seaport Association Incorporated for access to the Hope Dock from North Water Street parking lot to extend the agreement period retroactively from February 1st, 2022 to January 31st, 2023. 7C2A, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute an agreement with Titan Enterprises Incorporated for the kitchen improvement project at the Norwalk Museum for a total not to exceed $47,800. Funds are available from account noted. 7C2B, authorize the Office of Building Management to issue change orders on the contract for a total not to exceed $4,780. 7C3, authorize the purchasing agent to issue a purchase order to Digital Back Office DBO Advanced Corporate Networking to provide municipal area network manned fiber installation services for the new Cranberry Elementary School project for a total not to exceed $35,000. Account noted. 7C4, authorized to increase the contingency allowance for additional services for Horizon Engineering Associates LLP for commissioning services for the Ponus Ridge School project for an additional amount not to exceed $3,220. Account noted. 7D, Economic and Community Development Committee. 7D1, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute any and all documents regarding the 3-year partnership with Kiva and the National League of Cities for a small business and entrepreneurship loan program on a sole source procurement basis, including a contracted staff position in an amount not to exceed $308,000. Account American Rescue Plan Act funds. 7D2, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute any and all documents necessary for the city of Norwalk to apply, accept, and/or receive the NLC Kaufman Foundation grant for the amount of $15,000. 7D3, authorize Mayor Harry W. Rilling to amend the agreement between City of Norwalk and Fuss & O'Neill for design services for the Wall Street Corridor Improvement Project number 4149 for an amendment amount of $49,500 with a revised total agreement amount not to exceed $399,500. Account noted. Thank you. Back to you,
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Hooverman. Unless there are any objections, I will now call for a vote on the calendar as read. So all in favor, please indicate so by raising your hand. Okay, any opposed? Abstentions? Passes unanimously. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Revelous?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Shortest meeting ever.
All in favor. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Happy National Women's Day.
Bye-bye. Happy National Women's Day. That's true.
That's right. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't mention that. My wife just gave me a nod.